Thank you everyone for joining me again here at Crowley House Farm. Today I was going to chat just a little bit about what we do here on the farm as far as getting ready for the season and kind of what I do to prep and just mentally, physically, what we do in the greenhouses and that kind of thing. So to start, I was just going to talk a little bit about the process that I go through in January. So basically, after the season, so starting in October, November, December, we are super busy here on the farm, just getting wreaths ready. We do a lot of holiday decor for folks, and we kept the little farm stand open this year as well, and so we were just busy every single weekend. I felt like I couldn't really catch my breath. I did, however, decorate a little bit early at Christmas time. It was probably, I think it was Thanksgiving. No, it was the weekend before Thanksgiving that I went ahead and decorated the house just a little bit with some of the harder things. I just kind of hung some garlands. I think if you saw the other video about our holiday decor, you'll see it in there anyways. I can link that video below, but it was just like 2 videos back. So anyways, I kind of did a few things like that just because in the years past I have found that I am so busy that when it comes time to actually put our house together for the holidays, I'm kind of done and don't want to do it. Once we're done with wreaths and everything like that, I just take some time to just pause and enjoy the home, the Christmas tree, making the home cozy, having some friends over. This year it was just, my family, really close, my parents and that kind of thing. We did do one dinner. Normally it's very full, but we've all had to make little sacrifices this year. So, but I just take time to relax and enjoy the family and the family home. So a lot of times I set goals for myself this time. Usually I'll wake up super early in the morning and I'll just grab a cup of coffee, light the fire, and be able to just make some goals. And it's okay to dream really super big. I generally will take some sort of inventory of like all my seeds. I kind of sit there and kind of go through, and then that always spurs on more like, ooh, I should grow this year, or what was I thinking? I ordered that 5 times, so I probably shouldn't grow that. Or I hated growing this. There's a lot of emotion that goes into planning. I'll set out kind of to make a plan of kind of the extension of how our farm's going to go. We start like planning out the beds, how it's going to lay. We've got this new area behind me here that we cleared last year that is all new for us. So that's going to be a big undertaking. So a lot of times I'm figuring out like how much compost will I need? I'm always walking out here every day looking to see like how much standing water do we have? What is the ground looking like? Just prepping and getting ready for that kind of thing this year. Once I go through all of my seeds and kind of see what I need and what I don't need, I go through and start ordering some seeds. This year I did kind of sit down and look at all my seeds in the fall, and I ordered a big order. I ordered from Johnny's Seeds, which is really great, and then I also ordered from like Glockner, which is a wholesaler, and then we ordered from Geo Seed and a few others this year. So I kind of went through and got some of the bulk things that I know that I love to grow, and I grow as a staple every single year. They're crops that do really well here. So I did that, but then I also, this time of year, go through and kind of get some fun things that we want to trial on the farm, and then I just order a few more seeds, mainly for like the vegetable garden. I got some seeds from Baker Creek, an Heirloom Seed Company, and we also got some from Haas Tools, which my friend over at, he's got a YouTube channel, Cog Hill. We just love their little sweet family, and so he's kind of helped me along my gardening path. I can grow flowers, but man, I'm not super good at growing vegetables, so I'm learning. So you'll see that this year, and you'll Well, it's just, gardening, it's just like a learning experience anyways, in itself, right? I mean, it's all trial and error, and sometimes, oh my God, you can do so good, and then the next year you totally bomb. Anyways, so I generally will order some seeds, and then I'll go through all my parts and pieces for drip line, drip tape. We use a lot of the weed mat, so seeing how much I need of that, what size we want to do, especially in this new area. Just kind of going through that. My husband Jason helps me with a lot of that stuff, which is really, really nice. And then the other thing I like to do is take some time for education. So education is a super big part of what I feel is super important for me to learn every single year. So I generally will find some sort of class to take either online or just doing even like a book. I'm really bad at finishing books. Like I'll listen to books on, like audiobooks and that kind of thing, but just sitting down and reading, I don't know why I struggle with that so bad, but I do. So I try and read something. I try and get some audiobooks. I try and listen to some podcasts. You can learn something new from every single person that you listen to. So generally on the farm, the whole family kind of comes out on some really nice days, and we organize like the tool sheds, and we get the sharpener out and sharpen all the tools and clean them off, and just your normal gardening things that you do. But it's so helpful just to have it all done and organized. It's such a good feeling to get it all done and just have things put back into place. A lot of times during the season, we'll just be running 100 miles an hour, and it's just easy enough to lay a tool down, and then all of a sudden it's they're tangled in some weeds, and you're like, oh, that's where it went. Now it's ruined. So this last year I was really good about just, if I'm done with a tool, I put it away, and working with just the kids and my husband about doing that as well. Just when you're done with something, put it away, and then everything has its own place. I feel like it's almost like my mom talking to me, like, put it away, that everything is where you found it, and it always has a place. And then my dad, he was always like, nothing is anywhere that I put it, and it's never there, and he'd get super frustrated. So a lot of times I hear my parents' voices in the background talking about how things should just be put away. We have a little audience. At least somebody's listening to me. Right? Okay. Cleaning up the tools is super important. Putting everything back, taking that inventory. I used to think that was just so stupid, and now it's like it saves my bacon. Literally, we have pigs behind us. Saves my bacon in the times where I'm super busy on the farm. This time of year, we also plant on the farm. And so what I'm doing is a lot of things that, like, we already planted our sweet peas out that are in the high tunnel. And then we have ranunculus anemones that went in. We took out all the mums. We we had some stock that we seeded, and we started some Lysianthus, some Delphinium, some, I'm drawing a blank on it. We started some Bells of Ireland, the anemones, the ranunculus went in, snapdragons, we put those in the high tunnel. So we do a first planting in the high tunnel, and we do another planting in a high tunnel, and then we do a third planting. So that's the other thing. I kind of make a list of everything that we want to succession plant, and where we're planting it at, and what days and times and all that kind of stuff. And then we also start on our rose cleanup. This is a big chore. I mean, and I don't even have a ton of roses. I don't know how those big rose farms do it, but I have enough to handle on my own. So what I try and do is piece out jobs so that they're not so big. I'm kind of one of those housekeepers where I like start cleaning the kitchen and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm cleaning under the sink, and then I'm on to the throw in some laundry, and then I come back to cleaning underneath the sink, and then I move back to finishing cleaning the kitchen. So I've tried to really focus on one job, getting it done, and then crossing it off my list. I'm a big list person. Crossing it off my list and then moving on to the next list. So I also feel like when you chunk chores or big jobs on the farm into tangible pieces and parts, it's not so hard to be able to accomplish them. Because sometimes when I look at the whole picture, if I look at the whole farm and everything that needs to be done, I literally will crawl onto the couch with a bottle of wine and a glass and just be there for a short while. Well, for a while. I mean, because it can be so overwhelming for just, I don't know. I like things to be neat and tidy, and this is one thing I found on the farm. It's not always neat and it's not always tidy, and my husband always reminds me, like, Beth, your farm is a working farm. You're gonna have stuff around sometimes, but my goal is that I want this picture perfect, beautiful garden at all times, right? It's not that way. I was laughing. I think the reason I started this YouTube channel was because on Instagram, you know, I have this beautiful Instagram that just shows gorgeous flowers and this beautiful life. Yes, my life is beautiful for the most part, not always. But I want to just kind of show the more realistic part of flower farming and what my actual life looks like on a regular basis. So I also, in the wintertime, I take time to enjoy the home and do some home projects. So that would be like, right now my husband's replacing a leaky faucet in the kitchen. Or I'm, planning on painting the stairwell because there's like years of handprints on the stairwell. So it has drove me nuts, and I washed it down. I'm going to do that. And then I have a few other real fun projects that I'm doing. Every year I kind of check off something, and then, the next year there's always something else. And, I flip back and forth. So there's farm chores, there's, inside chores. And usually in the wintertime we try and tick off a couple things that need to be done indoors. Or in the studio. The studio got some work this year too. We ended up, I had a cooler in there, and we just needed a little extra work on finishing. Well, we redid some stuff in there because, sometimes when you're doing stuff on a really tight budget, you don't always have the means to finish it well. So we had the means to finish it well this year. So we did. So we worked on the studio a little bit and got some projects done in there. Still have some work to do in general, just organizing. I think this is the year for organizing, like just getting things put into place. I think there's been so many years that I've just tried to make this farm work and had so many things going that things just kind of got away from me as far as my organization goes. So over the years, because I've done this for a little bit, I have had a lot of wise teachers, people that have done this way before I even knew that farming flowers was a career job. So what I've learned from each one of them, and this is kind of like a repetitive thing that they've always said to me, is you can plan and you can put it on paper and you can draw it out and you can have all these timelines, but in reality, the farm is just going to do what it's going to do, and you're going to fail at some crops and you're going to do great at others, and you're going to have surprise things that come along that you're going to feel like I'm an amazing grower, and then the next minute you're like, yeah, I should just quit now. So, sorry, the dog just did it. Okay, squirrel. Anyways, so that is my other goal this year, is just to enjoy the process of farming and flowers and the people that I come in contact with and we sell our flowers to. Just enjoy those relationships with my farm and not be so hard on myself. But we'll see about that. I always say that. Well, not every year. I hope you had a wonderful little tour with me in the garden today. Winter garden, there's not much to look at, but you know, it has its own beauty, and it's just good to be outside in the fresh air with the birds and, you know, just breathing in. And I'm glad you could come along with me today. Till next time, take care.